Hello people, so welcome back to the Arora IAS channel. The series on ethics, integrity, aptitude is continued. Another interesting topic with citizen charters. Let's start today's discussion, the citizen charters. So we tend to hear about it even in the GS paper too. You have been reading a lot about it, I understand, but the basic thing where you can observe the citizen charters, let me give you an example. All of you use some kind of a broadband services from your home or from your rooms, right? So if you go into the web pages of these broadband services or the home services, DTH services you are using, so when you go to the home pages, just scroll down to at the end of the page, you will have citizen charter of every organization that is delivering some or the other service to you, no matter what, even if it is a private service or a public service. So at the end you can see what will happen is they will give you a grievance redressal mechanism item where you will have the different level of officers and their numbers as well as their email IDs. On if suppose there is your internet services were down for 2 days and nobody was paying any heed to you, so then you can go and complain to these level officers on the grievance redressal. So this is a mechanism of a citizen charter. It's nothing but for the citizens, an entity is providing some services. Okay, so the charter is nothing but the whole regulations of standards of provisioning the quality of services in a time frame and a time bound manner is mentioned at these pages. So this is one of the example which you can usually observe. That is why I've told you. Otherwise the discussion will go on for hours and hours together, like this is citizen charter, that is citizen charter. And from now on, whenever you have, all of us have bank accounts, right? Whenever you visit your banks, you will right away find the citizen charter outside the bank offices itself as well as inside, because explicitly it has to be mentioned in every other places of the government organizations that in what kind of services do they provide for the senior citizens or the normal adult school going kids or any kind of pensioners or the government employees. And it will also say that in case any of the services has not been timely done, what kind of actions you can take it from your side by filing what kind of complaints and to whom and by which mechanisms. So this has to be you have to be very aware of it so that you can use these services. So let's get into the actual chapter, understanding the basic things. The chapter depth wise or subject wise will be much easier. That is the reason I'll be telling you all these details. So let's begin the series with the citizen charter's definition. It is nothing but it's the commitment of an organization, mind you, because the organization can be private as well as public. So it will say that the standard and the quality on the time frame of which service delivery is done through the grievance redressal mechanisms, transparency and accountability. So the chart is a very common thing you will find in every other material, because this is the only diagram that is justifying to the need of the citizen charters chapter. Like improvement in quality of the public service delivery is nothing but citizens empowerment. How charter mark will define it. Redress the satisfaction. Grievance redressal mechanisms will be mentioned on the chart. And there is capacity enhancement because the service delivery capacity is enhanced through your availing of these services, quality services. So all in all, this is an integrated approach. So implementing Sevottam scheme is another portion of your e-governance public service delivery system, which is delivering the services to the people, reducing the middlemen or the kind of red tapeism or the long bureaucratic processes it occurs usually. So let's get into the discussion with the response to this quest of solving the problems of the citizens. Every day, day to day, you go to the bank, you file a new account, you give the application to it. Nobody is there to respond to you. Nobody will tell you like how to deposit in the cash. Nobody is assisting you how to write the slip form. So all this comes under the problems of a day-to-day normal people. Everybody is not equally literate like you people, right? Like you and me. So that is why such kind of people also encounter such some problems when they avail some public service delivery mechanisms. So it will enshrine some kind of a trust between the service provider as well as the users. That is where, and this concept had taken its genesis where the Conservative government of the UK in 1991 started this program to improve the public service delivery, and it was followed by 1998 the Labour government by Tony Blair, who said that this citizen charter as named it as services first. So the basic three core principles of a citizen charter movement in any country originally framed as it was originally framed. One is quality improving, choice wherever possible, standards like specifying what you can expect and how to act if standards are not met properly, like the grievance and redressal. Then value, like you value the taxpayers' money, so you provide kind of services to them. You are accountable to the individuals as well as to the organization as well. You have to be transparent in all your procedures, the grievance mechanisms as well. Then the Labour government at this point, 1998, which was Tony Blair's government, it has come up with some provisions of 9 principles in the service delivery. It says that first you have to set the standards for the service, and you have to give the full information, be totally transparent. You consult the people, involve them into the community management, encourage them to access and have a choice of promotion of the choice of options, various options in the government, like you have to opt for e-Aadhaar or go and enroll in through a bank system, or go through these common service delivery centers in your locality. So these are different choices where one person can, where one citizen in fact can access the services. Then it comes with a principle of treat all of them fairly. There is no bar to the caste, creed, sex, religion, anything. Then put the things right wherever they go wrong. Before they exercise the option of grievance redressal, before itself try to put the things in a right order, use the resources efficiently, innovate them, improve them, and work with the other providers as well, service providers of other nature also. Like suppose there is a BSNL government service, broadband services, right? It can take the help of the Reliance or any other service, join them, cooperate with them, coordinate with them for provision of a better services. So this is what the working with the other providers are all about. So the Labour government has given some principles. In the Indian context is totally different, because we are a diverse country and we have different needs altogether. So the beginning had taken place in Indian context is where the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances under the Ministry of Personal and Grievances and Pensions under Government of India was established, that said that we need a citizen-friendly government to formulate and operationalize these public service delivery mechanisms. So all the central government departments have brought out their citizen charters, all the government organizations. These are nothing but, let me tell you, this citizen charter are nothing but the do's and don'ts. What they do and what they don't do. So if they don't do something, what kind of mechanisms, grievance redressal, they have it. So all in all, this is citizen charter. And then involvement of the consumer organizations, citizen groups and other stakeholders into the citizen charter also to meet the need of the users is an important aspect of it in Indian context. I'm talking about the Indian context. And there is regular monitoring, review and the evaluation of the charters also, because the needs of the people are increasing day by day. You're providing services on a varied context. So the varied context has to be updated timely and evaluated and reviewed properly. Next we come to the charters are expected to have these following elements. These are the basic elements every charter should have. One is the vision and mission, what it intends to do and whom it is intending to deliver to. Details of all the business that an organization is transacting. Of all the clients details, like which all clients or stakeholders in their company through whom they are delivering the services. Then details of the services to each of the client group, like senior citizens. Let for example take the bank services itself, for the senior citizens, for the pensioners, for the government job holders, for the student accounts. So all these you have to each client group detail the services provided, grievance redressal mechanism and expectations you have from the clients. We always know that all the rules and regulations cannot, if they all go in an order, we would not be having the diversity of the problems that exist today. So the negative evaluation is that the service providers are not very familiar with what the philosophy and goals are about. They themselves, they just simply put out because it has been asked by every ministry to put out a citizen charter. But when you go and ask an officer also, he will not be able to answer you what actually it is a citizen charter is about. about. So that is the level of disgrace to the concept of citizen charter, when you yourself don't know the philosophy and the goals, and what justification can you give on putting it on the walls of your organization. And it is not having the quiet publicity also, because none of us scroll down to the last level of your web page, last page of your web page. Nobody goes down and take the pains of knowing who are the grievance redressal office and who are the appellate authorities, and how you can file a case in the consumer courts also. For an example, I can quote here that a friend of mine, why I'm quoting, because see, I can tell you like cooked up stories anywhere, but to understand the reality, and you might even wonder like everything happens why among my friends itself. It is not like that, it happens to your kith and kin also. So it's just like, since I'm delivering the lecture, I'll be using the examples which I'm familiar about. A friend of mine has just bought some shoes and couple of slippers from the Bata. Bata is a India-wide known famous shoe footwear, right? So when she got it, after 2 days, most of that the slippers or the shoes she has taken torn off. So when she went back along with her father to the shop guy had not responded properly. Then she, since being aware of the consumer courts, as there is a lawyer in their family who works for the consumer courts especially, so when she ask them that if they're not giving the grievance in a timely manner, then she might take up the consumer courts. This is where the awareness plays an important role. And later part of the issue, what happened was she was given the proper kind of all the kind of malfunctioning in her shoes and everything was rectified. So that is where the citizen charter is nothing but the awareness generation is a very important thing. This is where awareness generation is a very important one. And solutions to improve the citizen charter, and what kind of solutions you want to give. One is that the citizen staff should be consulted at every process of making the citizen charter, because the philosophy and goals should be well understood by the staff members. It is not for the namesake, but it has to be really given effect only through the understanding by the staff and the citizens involved in it. And then there has to be an orientation of the staff towards the salient features and objectives. Mission statement has to be in fact memorized with the all staff members, that they have to understand when somebody approaches them. And then it's a criteria of database for grievances and redressal mechanisms, and wider publicity like print media, posters. Give it every time. We always have this campaign of Jago Grahak Jago on the television, right, by the Consumer Affairs and Food and Public Distribution Ministry. Why is it done? Because it says that wherever you find the adulteration, or wherever your right of asking for a commodity, for a replacement is violated, you have to Jago Grahak Jago, in the true sense, is like awaken. Just get awaken, be aware, and fight for your rights. That is what the print, even in citizen charter through print media and posters, we have to do it. And the specific budgets for these kind of an awareness programs have to be allocated properly. This is a very important point. And then you have to replicate the best practices in the field. So if suppose any kind of an organization, private organization has come up with a novel innovation of citizen charter in their organization, how they made it familiar through the for the clients and all, you have to replicate them into your field also. So the public delivery mechanism can be strengthened only through a very strong citizen charters, because this is an integrated framework where people will come and utilize, and if they are not satisfied, they have a appellate authorities for their grievance redressal. That is one form of the discussion where you will see the discussion is all about the citizen charters. Okay, so the diagram is very important. You can just draw the diagram in the paper itself to just not just fill up, but it has a lot of information also. So let's go into an answer writing question. You can write this answer to this question and comment down below. I hope all of you are doing in a regular sense, following the series and writing down the answers in the comment section. It is for your benefit only, because this kind of a chapter along with the series, if you were trying to complete this portion just before your prelims, it's a great idea, and it will lessen all your burden before you give your prelims. And after, once you clear the prelims also, it will come in handy in times of crisis, because a 3-month portion after you clear your prelims is a very crucial point, and you have to utilize the time meticulously. That is why you need to finish off this series. Through this series itself you can finish off answer writing also for this subject. So the model answer, let's see the question first of all. The Citizens Charter does not give people any legal powers, just higher expectations and power to whinge. So what is this critically comment about? It says that it is not giving any legal powers. It's just that expectations you are increasing, but it has no actual standards or the right kind of a framework. He says that there is no power. It is a cageless parrot kind of a thing he's saying. So first of all you have to define, like, it's a layman concept. Somebody who is evaluating the paper, he doesn't know anything. So first give it the right away, define the Citizens Charter. Tell them what is the legal status right now, the Citizens Charter about, and the issues involved. Like we have already seen the positives and negatives, how it is impacting for a good service delivery, and what are the negatives of citizen service values. Then you have to inform him, write something about the utility and the reforms to change it, and finally concluded by saying that Citizen Charter is very important, and itself it cannot be ensured for a responsive and effective administration. Mainly employees associated with the organization, public or private, has to be sensitized. Like they have to be aware of the philosophy and the goals with the vision and mission statements of the Citizen Charter. Train them properly. Then business process restructured for that complaint redressal mechanism is another important aspect. Another thing is that without the involvement of stakeholders, no program is successful. So involve all the stakeholders. So simply with these 3 points in a just concluding line, you can just fill up the answer. So that is it for this portion of the Citizen Charter. So I think this session would go along if I continue with the work culture. So we'll take up another session on work culture. So before that, winding up, let's see the Citizen Charter in an overview. First, the definition of standard, quality and time frame, the picture of integrated approach. Then we have the 6 principles originally framed of quality, choice, value, standards, accountability and transparency. Then we have the labor government, which says that you have to set the standards, give out the information, consult the people, involve them, treat them fairly, put the things in an order without going wrong, use the resources efficiently, and then innovate and work with all the service providers. In Indian context, DARPG is a form of department which has been brought up by the Ministry of Personnel. So various organizations also have this list of do's and don'ts, and what kind of things will be involved in charters is vision and mission statement and all the details of the grievance redressal and the expectations of the for the clients. And then there is some issues with the Citizen Charter and some solutions you have already dealt. And this question, do write it up in a 150 word or a 250 word. 150 word would suffice if you can end up giving a beautiful conclusion and an introduction with a diagram. So this session, let's end it up on this note. We'll come up with the next session on work culture. So stay blessed, keep sharing, subscribing. All in all, follow our channel on Telegram channel of Arora IAS, and also the website www.aroraIAS.com. Thank you and Jai Hind.